Blue here again to tell you about another interesting case involving hypnosis. This case is about how hypnosis prevented a hospitalization when a lady was faced with a very unique physical problem that without hypnosis would indeed have required a hospitalization and required expensive medication as well. What happened was that this lady awakened one morning with some redness in the corner of her eyes. At first, there wasn't that much redness, so she didn't think about it much. She really didn't take it seriously. But as the day progressed, and by lunchtime, the redness had increased, intensified, and covered over half of her eye. So she called an eye doctor, got an immediate appointment, got an examination, and got some interesting, startling news about the reason that the redness, which had by that time covered almost all of her eye, and the redness had intensified to be a bright red by that time. Now, what in the world would have caused such a condition? And what would be the remedy? Well, the eye doctor said that the reason was that this lady had, of all things, a very small sliver of steel embedded right in the middle of the pupil of one of her eyes, and that he was going to have to remove it. She immediately remembered looking at the highway worker the morning before who was using this large electric drill as she drove by, and she never felt a thing. Anyway, the little sliver of steel was so small, the doctor had difficulty gripping it, and the more he tried, the more the eye reacted, to the point where medication was needed to calm the eye. But the medication didn't calm the eye enough. And the doctor decided that this lady was going to have to be hospitalized and undergo a general anesthesia. But wait, hypnosis to the rescue. This lady was no ordinary lady. She was a client of mine undergoing hypnosis for weight control, and she was very responsive hypnotically. So she asked the doctor if she could try using one of the recorded weight control hypnotic CDs I had made for her, and the rest is history. The doctor was then able to remove the sliver of steel from her eye easily, without being hospitalized, without medication, further medication. That is how deeply she relaxed under the hypnosis recording I had made for her. And I am very proud of this, because this means that the hypnosis I did for her relaxed her as much or more than a general anesthesia would have, and that means she might be able to attain that kind of depth in hypnosis and might be able to undergo a surgery if necessary using that same recording. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I do a hypnosis technique that is unique and that really works to penetrate the brain. As a matter of fact, I call it deep brain hypnosis. And this case is a good example of the results I get with it. And the fact that a client of mine could get this kind of result with one of my recordings makes me very proud. Now, most people do think of hypnosis as a knockout pill, but To think of undergoing a surgery while hypnotized is a stretch of the imagination for most people. Nevertheless, there are certain medical conditions in which medication cannot be used for several reasons, and that is where hypnosis can come in real handy, as it did for this lady in this case. Coincidentally, this lady did lose weight with the weight control hypnosis CDs I made for her in the first place. So once again, thank you for considering this case. And once again, I hope it has broadened your awareness of just how truly healing hypnosis can be, and once again impressed you with the remarkable healing and therapeutic power of hypnosis. Thank you once again for listening to this case report.